What's up, guys? Farm Wrestler here, and today we're going to start prepping the John Deere 750 no-till drill. It's past time for sowing. I'm a couple weeks late, but I've been waiting for some moisture and we finally got it, and so we're going to get this thing ready. It's still too wet to get out in the field, but I think the next few days I'll be able to get out there and get all that wheat drilled. Today we're just gonna get the drill all prepped and ready to go. There are several hundred grease zerks that we got to hit, so that'll be the main focus today. And we'll of course get the chains oiled up and make sure the tire pressures are all set and be ready to roll as soon as the conditions are right. Thanks for watching, guys. We got the back row finished up. Wasn't too bad. Everything actually took grease for once. I didn't have to work on any of the grease zerks. And now we've got to grease the pivot point on them. Make sure that thing is coming up and coming down nice and easy so we don't bend or break anything. So I'll show you what that looks like here, where we've got to go, and there will be 12 of these on the back side and another 12 on the front side. So these John Deere closing wheels here are notoriously bad for the bearings going out, and just giving it a quick look over, there's several that are having problems, so we'll have to replace a bunch of these bearings. These should spin freely, but I bet there's a half dozen of them probably seized up. The bearings are out. It's a weak point on this drill, and there are updates, but you know, it's a few $1,000s at least to update these wheels, so I'm still just replacing the bearings on these. We're finally out in the field sowing some wheat. Got the drill all greased up, put back together. I think we ended up with about 8 new closing wheel bearings that we needed, and then got the drill filled up over here today, which was kind of a pain because I'm spoiled now. I'm used to augering it straight in out of the grain cart, which is also way faster. It only takes me about 5 minutes to fill the drill. And my normal supplier didn't have what I wanted this year, and so I had to go somewhere else, and I got, you know, the 2,400 pound sacks of seed, so we were filling it that way today, which still beats 50-pound bags because that's how I used to do it. But anyway, we're up and running. Made a couple passes already. We had a couple seed tubes that were plugged up, even though I, try to make sure they're not before I start, but I usually blow them out before I start, which I did, but there tends to be, spider webs in a few of them, or big spiders sometimes, and so, we run a wire or a long, piece of Johnson grass or something in there and get those cleaned out. So it's kind of been slow starting. It's actually almost lunchtime, but we're up and running, and I'm only about 3 weeks behind what's typically considered ideal for winter wheat in this area, but that was partially on purpose, or mostly on purpose, or calculated, I guess, because I've been having some pretty dirty fields, a lot of cheat and ryegrass and rye and things like that, things I don't typically want in my wheat field, obviously. And we had a big rain a couple weeks ago, which was good. We needed the moisture, and I decided I was going to wait a while after that rain to see if I couldn't get a bunch of this volunteer stuff to come up, and it sure did. It almost looks like a wheat field out here, but I wanted to get all that stuff up, or as much of it as I could, and see if we can't get these wheat fields cleared up a little bit. And so yesterday they came and did my burn down. I'll do the burn down myself sometimes, but they have access to a few different chemicals that I don't have, and so it's real green out here, but in a couple days it'll be real brown, and then in a couple days it'll be real green again when my wheat starts coming up. So that's kind of where we're at today. I don't want to be late. I'd rather have, more of that fall growth, but just in an attempt to get this cleaned up, that was my game plan this year. I'm not necessarily planning on grazing any of my wheat. Hopefully I won't have to, but that's where we're at. I get a lot of questions about GPS, precision agriculture, and while I'd love to have access to those kinds of things, I just don't. I can't justify spending the money on that with an operation this size. If I was doing, you know, several thousand acres, then I feel like I could justify that. But with my size operation, it's not really in the financial cards. But I think I got something better anyway, and I call it BPS. That's the old brain positioning system. And how that works, how I get nice and straight, is on my first pass, I get everything lined up right where I want to be, and then I pick something all the way across the other side of the field, and I will not take my eye off that. I will go straight towards it until I get there, and that's the only way to make a straight line. And that's assuming, you know, your steering linkage is tight and everything, because I've got some older machines that have so much play in them, you can't go straight almost no matter what you do. But that's what I use, BPS. And then I've obviously got mirrors on each side that I can see, you know, where the drill's running in relation to my last line. I don't have a marker arm, and that might have been useful today because it's kind of hard to see where I've been. The ground's kind of trying to confuse me, but I've got mirrors that I can run to see where I'm at. And then on this side, I've got a hydraulic line that I use as kind of a landmark, and I put that hydraulic line in my view here, right where right on my last row. And then on this side of the machine, I've got a toolbox, and I put the outside corner of that toolbox on my last row, and that's what I use to guide me on that side. And it works fine as long as your first row was straight. If not, then all bets are kind of off. This is still pretty wet here. Hopefully made it that time. Hopefully I won't have trouble. There's this spot that's always wet. Even if it hasn't rained in a month, it'll still be wet. This holds water. So, but we'll be at this for the next few days. Running about 6.5 miles an hour, which is, what the manual says is the max for this John Deere 750 no-till that I've got here. And I think theoretically I hit about 10 acres an hour, and the drill does a really good job. I can push it a little bit harder than that, but since I've got a few nice clear days, no chances of rain or anything coming, I'll just keep it here at about 6.5 and try not to tear anything up and try not to bounce myself to death. Till versus conventional till. Conventional farming, uses a array of different implements to work the ground, to break up the soil, to flip the soil over, to chop up, you know, leftover vegetative matter, to control weeds, all that sort of thing. No-till, it avoids those steps, but there's reasons why, and my primary reason is water conservation, because they say every time you break the ground, you disc or plow or anything like that, you're losing an inch worth of rain in the form of soil moisture. And my area gets awful dry for awful long periods of time, and so I'm trying to hopefully conserve some of that soil moisture by not breaking up the ground and exposing it to the dry air where it evaporates. Another reason is all this material on top of the soil acts as a mulch, so that I don't have blowing fields ever, because it's all, the dirt is tethered by, you know, plant material, and so my fields don't blow, so I'm not getting that erosion of topsoil, and then I'm not getting erosion of topsoil when it rains either. Another thing that no-till does over conventional till is the longer you no-till, the better your soil structure gets. So, and what I mean by soil structure is the ground, every time you till it, you break up soil structure. There's, you know, bugs and worms and all kinds of different things that are making little holes and tunnels and pores that allow water to infiltrate into that soil surface or into that soil. And so when it does rain, if you have that good soil structure, you know, it's not running off your field, it's actually soaking in and getting down deeper, where, you know, your roots can be deeper, and, you know, you can survive, you know, dry spells a lot longer, a lot better. So those are the main reasons why I do no-till. It's also, in my operation, it's a big time saver. You know, I don't have to spend weeks working ground, which is also pretty hard on tractors. You know, this 60-acre field that I'm in right now, you know, we do what's called a burn down application, where we spray and kill everything in the field, and maybe takes them like 30 minutes to do a field this size, instead of, you know, 12 hours in the tractor disking it. And yes, you're using chemicals, but, you know, there's just trade-offs. There's no real perfect solution. So that's the main reasons why I've chosen to do. I'm probably about 75% of my ground is now no-till. I'm kind of running a little bit of a experiment to see what I really want to do, if I, you know, want to keep pushing forward with this no-till, or, you know, go back to working the ground. But I think I've had this no-till for about 6 years, and just now kind of seeing the major benefits of everything, because that soil structure takes time, and it takes time to get, you know, some of your weeds under control and things like that. Another huge benefit to the no-till system is the increase in organic matter. All this stuff on top is just rotting and breaking down and adding to the organic matter in the topsoil, which also, when you add to the organic matter on a place, they say for every 1% increase in a soil's organic matter content, you increase the water holding capacity of that soil by 1 inch worth of rainfall. So, you know, it's got more things in there to absorb and hold water than, you know, a conventional till. But, you know, that takes years for that organic matter to build back up. So, you know, I feel like I'm just now kind of scratching the surface of what this field could really be as a no-till wheat field. These no-till drills are really amazing too, since the ground isn't worked. We don't have a prepared seed bed. You know, the ground is in essence a lot harder. A conventional drill will not be able to get the seed down into the soil. It'll basically just run on top of the ground, and you won't have very good germination because it's not down in the soil where the moisture is. So these no-till drills, they have made them so big and heavy with such heavy spring down pressure. You're talking with modifications, these 750 no-tills can have up to 500 pounds of down pressure on each disc opener, which is a lot compared to the box drill I use. I bet it's got maybe 40. And they say you can actually, whether it's true or not, I don't know, but they say if you've got that drill with maximum down pressure and you've got it ballasted with extra weight, that you could actually drill into asphalt. It's got enough down pressure to cut into asphalt, which I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not gonna try it on with my drill, but the ability to, you know, slice open the ground and get your seed in there and close it up is why these no-till drills work. So I just thought that was kind of an interesting little tidbit. So finally got it all drilled. It was a very long 3 days to get everything in, but it's done now, so that'll be on cruise control. Thanks for watching, guys. Farm Wrestler signing out.